Hi, and welcome to Turra Company, the mother-daughter podcast about everything. Our mission is to make herstory, aka history, not by going viral, but by doing something that has never been done before in our family. Whether we have 2 listeners or 2 million listeners, we are bringing you our very best, and hopefully we are learning and growing together in the process. Now let's enter into the Turra Company experience and create herstory, aka history together. Welcome to Turra Company. I am so excited about this episode. This is the Love and Marriage series. I am so excited about this series because Neal has decided to join me. Anybody who knows Neal knows that he's not the talker of the family. Me and the kids are the talkers of the family. So the fact that I was able to talk him into coming on this show is a big deal. So y'all better shout him out on Facebook, on Instagram, on all our social medias, and support him and tell him how much I like him. So
yeah, because I need it.
Neal, stop it. You do not need it. You are going to do just fine. This is the thing. Just keep this in the forefront of your mind. What we are doing with this series is we are going to impart some knowledge to the folks, old married, new married, middle married, all kind of married folks, and just give them some aha moments. That's what we're going to do.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh. Somebody's silly today. So let's get started, babe. So last episode, the first episode of the Love and Marriage series, we kind of talked about our dating life and how that started out, right?
Yes.
And then you dropped some bombs on me, but if you guys want to know what the bombs were, you have to listen to that episode. I'm not going to give it to you. I want you to go back and listen and don't be skipping around for my episodes. I don't like it. So one of the things we want to do today and with these next couple of episodes, if I can keep getting Neal in the studio, because y'all don't know what this is taking for me to get him in here. But what I want to do is I want to go through the different phases because we've been married 28 years. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Because we've been married 28 years, we got a little wisdom. I mean, we're not the experts by any means, but we can help some folks out if they need us to help them out for $5.99 an hour. Is that all right? Should I charge more?
For dropping these nuggets?
Yeah. I thought you was going to say for dropping these nuts. Because you know how you always talk about these nuts. I thought that's what you was about.
I thought, the thing to say nuggets, like gold.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Right. So how much should we charge for dropping these golden marriage nuggets?
I'm cool with that.
$5.99 an hour? We selling ourselves off for cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, we trying to
get out there first.
Okay. All right. I believe. Okay. So today, what we're going to talk about a little bit is we're going to go through a little bit of married life. How about that? We're going to talk a little bit about in the beginning of the marriage. So Neal and I, just to give a little context about how our marriage started out. We got married when we were 23. We were both 23, yes. Because I'm 5 months. Oh, my God.
Okay.
I'm 5 months.
I don't know how many months.
I'm 5.
I just know Cougar. You're older than me.
I'm 5 months older than Neal.
Are you sure?
So, yeah, because my birthday is in July and your birthday is in November. That's 5 months, right? August, September, October, November. Oh, 4 months. August, September, October, November. So I'm 4 months. See, I've been giving myself a month. It doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, so Neal always calls me his cougar. I don't even know why, but I'm not a cougar. Anyway, Neal and I got married when we were 23, which, and I just want to address this for a second because there might be some people out there listening that are thinking about getting married. They're young, and people are probably speaking against them. I feel like we caught the biggest flack when we were together because we got together so young. And then we hadn't had a lot of other serious relationships in between, And so I felt like when we were so serious so early, people were like, well, y'all need to wait a minute. Did you get that? I got that a lot where people were like, y'all need to wait.
Well, I believe my friends said a long time ago that someone was going to swoop me up. And
really?
that would be the end of me, yeah.
Oh, so they were predicting a long time ago that you was just a one-woman man.
Well, I don't know about one woman, but someone was going to come and sweep me off my feet, and I was going to fall all in.
Oh, okay. You was that guy?
Yeah, that's what my friends told me a long time ago.
But I'm just saying that
I didn't get anything from my parents that I remember now.
Oh, okay. I just remember a lot of people saying, oh, you're too serious. You're too young. You need to live a little bit. A lot of people would say that, adult people, not my friends, but a lot of adults, older people like older cousins, older aunts, would say, y'all need to live a little bit.
Well, no. For me, I was the oldest boy. My uncles and aunts, I only seen them during the holidays, so they weren't into my relationships like that. So I didn't have anyone to get that advice from, but my friends. But they didn't say nothing bad, or.
But I think
they didn't say I was. I don't ever remember them saying that I was whooped or anything, but. They probably did. Whipped, yeah.
No. And I wasn't even taking it there. I guess what I just was saying was there's sometimes when you're young and you know what you want, people try to talk you out of it. And I felt like I was getting a little bit of that where people were trying to talk me out of it. And I was like, don't tell me what to do, because y'all know how I am. Don't tell me what to do. I'm doing this. This is what we're about to do. So anyway, we get married. We had this amazing wedding. We had a really nice wedding for the times. I mean, now they spend like millions of dollars on the wedding, but for the budget that we had, we did really good. I think, the people who attended our wedding could still remember that wedding. It was pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. So we get married, and right away we get pregnant. Like we got married in September. I know what you're about to say. What you about to say? We get pregnant right away because I stopped taking my birth control, and Neal, tell him what I did. Tell him what I...
The rhythm method.
Say it again.
The rhythm method.
Yes, so...
Don't fall for it, fellas.
Oh, Neal is on fire right now. He going to take over the show. It's going to be the Neal and Company in a minute because he is all in. No, so what had happened was I had read something. I don't know if it's an article in a magazine, but it was saying that if you didn't want to do like chemical birth controls, that you could do the rhythm method, which if anybody knows anything about the rhythm method, it's like, what is it, a 25%? It's like a 25% certainty rate. It's very low, very low. And it's not something that I would ever recommend anybody do unless you're trying to get pregnant, But I didn't really care if I got pregnant though. Like you always give me flack about the rhythm method, but we didn't care if I got pregnant. So what do you care if it didn't work?
I just like to bring it up.
You do. I mean, Neal gave me such crap about it. So we used the rhythm method, y'all. And I get pregnant. I had to been pregnant because I had her in July. I had to been pregnant with her, in November?
Yeah.
So September to November, we get pregnant. So we got all these things going on, right? So we got marriage, new marriage. And anybody who's been married, that first year is rough. Was the first year rough for you? It was rough for me.
Yes, but the pregnancy changed my life, I would say.
And how so?
Knowing that I was bringing a child into the world changed me.
Oh.
Changed my mindset,
About
me.
What, you was gonna leave me? What you was going in October before we got pregnant? You was like, I'm out.
This is hard.
It was hard, wasn't it? Like I think when you asked me to marry you, I think I thought, okay, I'm about to have this wedding. I don't think I thought anything past the ceremony. Mm-hmm. I don't think I thought life. I don't think I thought, oh, Neal sometimes doesn't like to pick up his clothes when he takes them off. Like, I didn't think of stuff like that. And we didn't live together, right?
Right.
So it was a big adjustment getting used to who you were as a person. And I'm sure you getting used to who I was as a person. Because I think I'm not easygoing. I'm never going to say that. But I think I am pretty steady until you piss me off. Right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty, like, you can set your watch by me. I don't have, I'm not unpredictable, right? When I set something, I set it. When I'm doing something, I'm doing it. And it's pretty much you can set your watch by me, but there are little things that trigger me that make me lose my stuff. So you know what? I meant to say this in the beginning of the episode. Guys, if you didn't know by now, this is an adult show. So if you're listening in the car, I don't suggest that you listen with your children. This is an adult, and I'm even going to mark it explicit. So, I just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page, because I don't want people writing me saying, I was listening with my kid in the back seat and you were saying stuff. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that. But anyway, so we get married, we get pregnant. Ariel's pregnancy was pretty cut and dry, pretty simple. And I want to say that those years were up and down. We were newly married. I feel like financially struggle bus. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. We used to go shopping in our parents' refrigerator. So we used to live in the suburb, right? This is back when we lived in Detroit. So we lived in the suburbs and our parents lived in the city. And so we would have to pick up the kids. Like Neal's mom watched our kids. Like we didn't ever have to take our kids to daycare. Thank you for that, Miss Rhonda. So we never had to take our kids to daycare, but we had to take them into the city. That was the thing. So a lot of times, like, we wouldn't always have like all the money to be going grocery shopping. So what we would do is when we would go pick up the kids, if Neal would pick them up, he would get stuff out of his mother's refrigerator or freezer. And then if I would go, I would get stuff out of my mother's refrigerator or freezer. It's better than borrowing money, I think. What you think?
I would agree.
Yeah, it's better than borrowing money. So that's how we survived. And like when I look back at that, and I'm gonna ask you this: when you look back at how we were, and then we look at what we are today, not that we're like, oh my God, we're gonna be millionaires, we just not yet. But when you look at us now, back then, did you ever think that we would be where we are today?
I would say yes.
Really? Okay,
yes.
Good. Well, I'm glad you had the foresight, because I didn't.
Yeah,
because I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
But life.
There's some things that I thought I would have that I don't now.
Mm-hmm. Like that motorcycle?
So, yeah.
Neal, I just, let me tell you, there's two things
before you go there, but some things I have given up on as well.
What have you given up on?
I'm not going to say.
I guess you don't want me to know. Listen. So Neal, it's two things that Neal wants that I just put my foot down. And they're simple things, but I'm not for them. Motorcycle and a dog, because I don't do dogs. But I did see this little thing that contains the dog. It was so cute on Facebook, and I told Neal, I said, now if we can get one of those, then I might consider a dog. But I'm really being real. The reason why I don't want a dog is because I don't want to clean up after it. Like, I'm not trying to say I'm the neatest person in the world, because I'm not, but I don't want nothing else to clean up after. Like when my kids were small, like it's a lot of work. I don't want to get off of work and have to clean up after a dog. That's just me. No disrespect to a dog lover. So that's just me. But anyway, it's good to know, going back to what you said, the foresight. I'm not saying that I didn't think that we would be somewhere. I just didn't know that life would take us here. Like, and when I say that, I mean not living in Michigan anymore. Like, if somebody would have told me that we were going to live in Vegas for over 18 years, I'd have been like, yeah, right. That kind of stuff.
Okay.
That's the kind, I think that's where I'm kind of getting at, like where we live, what we do, careers. Like, I think you always knew your career.
Yes.
always. Like, I think we talked about that last episode. You just knew, and that's what made me, cling to you. So yeah. So anyway, I want to dive a little deeper into, there's an article that I picked up. The article that I found is called 25 Common Marriage Problems Faced by Couples and Their Solution. So I was looking at this article because I was like, I want to bring some awareness to some things. And, by us talking about it on the show, I'm hoping that it will, shine some light on you guys. And if you're struggling in an area, it might help you out. So that's what I want to do. So the list, of course, because it said 25 things, it's 25 things long. That's a lot of things. So I wanted to pick a couple out and just have a little round table, talk about it. You good with that?
Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So we all, with me and the girls, we always talk about pre-production. And I just got to share this with them, Neal. I know you don't probably want to. So just if anybody hasn't picked it up yet, I am an open book. Neal is the closed book. Neal don't be, like, you can know Neal for 20-some years and you still might not know, like, 50% of who he is, because he just is not that person. So being on this show, I'm telling y'all, this is a miracle. So anyway, when we were in pre-production, Neal and I was having a little tense moment because we were kind of going over this stuff and he was getting frustrated with me, which, that makes for a better show, right? That's why we're having a good show right now. Yes? No? Maybe?
Maybe.
You like Chelsi. Oh my God, you are so like Chelsi. Chelsi she records just like you. She's super quiet. You got to ask her directly. So anyway, let's get into these 25 things. We're not going to go over 25 things, but we're going to pull some of the things off of the list. And again, these are 25 common marriage problems faced by couples and the solutions to those problems. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to list off the list, but the solution, me and Neal going to talk our solution. We're not going to give you what they said. Definitely I'm going to put the information in the cliff notes and I'll have the information. It's a really good article. So if you want to go and do your, I love to give you homework. If you want to go do your own homework and go look this stuff up, then you can do that from the show notes. Do y'all not know what show notes are? So every time I do a show, every time you go on and listen to one of my shows, there's notes. And I write those. So I want everybody to know those are the show notes. So those things that they are kind of talking about the episode and kind of telling you what it is, I write those. So the information will be in the show notes. Anyway, let's get started. So the one that I wanted to talk about, and Neal wasn't too enthused about talking about, but I think he's on board now, is the first one on the list was infidelity. Now, for us, this is not a thing that we have gone through personally. We have not been through infidelity in our marriage, correct?
Correct.
Wouldn't that be so crazy? We probably would get 100 million downloads if I asked you that question. You'd be like, well, now that you ask.
You remember that one time?
Neal.
Actually, 2 times.
Oh, not 2 times. Okay. But it would make for good podcasts. But anyway, it's not something that we have directly dealt with in our marriage firsthand. But it's still something that I wanted to bring up because people do deal with infidelity. Now, one of the things that was so cool, Neal, on this list is not only did they have just regular infidelity, right? They had emotional infidelity. Now, do you know what emotional infidelity is?
I would say no so that you can give me the definition.
Well, it's not a definition necessarily, but it's just when you kind of have like an emotional, like you're not necessarily having like sex, but you're kind of like, here it is. It says infidelity can be various types. However, the one that most likely comes to light is physical infidelity, which is the one I just mentioned before. Emotional infidelity is when the partner develops romantic romantic feelings for someone other than their partner. It can also become a marriage problem since feelings for someone else can damage the marriage or relationship. So it's kind of like you have feelings for that person. You're not necessarily physical with them, but you got feelings and you might not be holding the feelings back.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So it's funny that they said that, but I haven't done emotional infidelity. Have you had emotional infidelity?
No, I'm going to just say no.
Right, because I'm looking at you like, what? What is happening?
I mean, but that's like friends, right?
No, so that's like, so say for instance, you know how sometimes people have work wives or work husbands?
Okay.
And then they start having feelings for the work wife or the work husband because you connecting with that person on a deeper level where I might not come home talking to you about sports, but this girl over here might can know all the football players and that just gets you all emotional and you be like, I like her.
Yeah.
But you don't act on it, but it's still an emotional connection. Like they finishing your sentences. Like it's just an emotional connection that you would have with another person that's not me. And it would be deeper than what you have with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure, that hasn't been a thing. So let's talk about infidelity. Let's talk about this a little bit. So the thing that I want to share with people is not only has this not been a thing that we've gone through, but I wanted to kind of talk about why we think we may not have gone through this. And if you want to start, you want me to start or you want to start?
You can start.
Okay. So when I was thinking about this and why I have not ever cheated, so to speak, or had an adulterous affair or anything, is for me, and anybody who knows me knows this, you are enough for me. Like, you feel my needs, right? So Neal said, when I told him this earlier, he said that I made this about him, but it's not about him. It's really me saying that for me, you meet my needs physically, you meet my needs financially. You're what I need, right? There's nothing that you're lacking that I would need to go outside of our home to go get. And so when I think of, like, when I meet guys, I always am putting them up against you. Like, Neal would never do that. like one of the things that I cannot stand this. Listen, we probably gonna get a lot of letters on this, a lot of mail on this one, because when I meet guys, I just don't like chatty guys. That's what made me love you, is that you're not a chatty guy. Like, you're quiet, and I love that about you. You know when to talk, and you know when, to just action, right? And so when I meet guys that are just like, all they want to do is talk, and kind of be gossiping and stuff, because you're not messy like that. That's another thing about you. You're never going to be messy. You're going to cut it. You're not going to carry the mess. You're just not messy. But when I see guys like that, I'll be like, Neal would never do that. Like, I always put a guy on the level of you. That's why I would never cheat, because none of the guys I know measure up. Ain't that sweet? Yeah. That's so sweet, ain't it?
Yeah.
But it's true. I'm not just saying that for the show. I really mean that, because, and then I'm going to tell you another thing about me. And this has always been, even when I dated, I can't do two things. My heart can't split down the middle. If I'm in love with you, which I am, I love you, baby. If I'm in love with you, I'm in love with you. I can't be in love with two people. I can't give my heart to two different people. I've always wondered about that when people have more than one mate or want more than one person. How are you giving your heart to two different people? And I think it's because I love so hard, right? Like, I'm very loyal. If I love you, I got your back no matter what, right? I stay in your, pushing you in your back. But I can't split it. So if I'm going to go, if somebody captures my attention, I'm going to end it with you and then go over there. I would never do that and that. I just can't split my heart. My heart doesn't split like that. And I know it could just be about physical. It could just be about this or that thing, financial or whatever. But for me, I couldn't do it. So what about you, Neal?
For me, it's just that I'm a simple person. I seen my parents together. They're still together today.
50 years, right? 50 years?
Yes. And It's just that I took a second job. I had my job that I worked during the day. I took my second job to work at night. So that just burned a lot of energy. In the second job, I worked by myself, so I didn't have to worry about anything. I kind of had my own set schedule because it was
So you saying the reason you didn't cheat because you had all these jobs?
Yeah.
No, you were supposed to say the reason you didn't cheat because you love me so much. The second job thing came into play with the next one we're going to talk about, which is the sexual differences. This one is just why you just never cheated on me.
Yeah, just because it wasn't the thing to do. So I mean, I knew what I had. I knew what I didn't want to mess up.
Right.
Or didn't want to lose.
Right. Because once you do that, when you agree that it fractures it, right? So if it was like a piece of metal, right? Let's say it was like a piece of metal.
Yeah.
And so the metal at its origination or in its original form is a lot of strength, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have any dents, doesn't have any flaws. But then I look at infidelity like if somebody cheats, no matter who it is, and you decide to stay together, there's a bit of a dent in that metal now. Yes. And yes, it's still together. The metal piece is still together, but it has a dent in there. And do you ever fix the dent? We can't speak. We can't speak on it. I'm not even asking you that.
Mm-hmm.
I ponder, and if somebody wants to chime in and let us know, does the dent ever really fully go back to where it was, the strength that it was? Because I just know when I was, if you're dealing with any type of metal or material, once you bend it, it gets weak. It's fragile, right?
Okay.
No? Am I wrong? When you bend metal,
yeah, it
gets fragile.
Yeah.
So how do you make that strength again?
Polish it.
Oh, wait a minute. No. Not polish it, but you know what you do? You buff the rest down so it's all just as thin. So it's one long, thin piece. Okay, I get it. So we just need to dumb down our relationship after something happens. I get it. No, but seriously, that's how I think of it, is that one thing for me is I always thought of it is if I do something like that, you'll never look at me the same. I don't think you would trust me the same. I don't think you would honor me the same. It would take a lot of work, right?
Yes.
And why bring that into what is not broken, right? It's not broken. I, in my brain, never wanted to bring that in to be broken, right? Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. You just don't want to mess up our happy home?
Yes.
Neal, all of these answers, you're doing good. Good answers, like Family Feud. Okay, let's go to the next one. So infidelity, that's a tough one because, in a lot of these, some we have experienced like firsthand and some we haven't. Infidelity is one of those ones. At this point, look at I don't even want to say that. What am I saying? We haven't done it. So it's just, it's a testament to our faith. It's a testament to the things that we believe in. And it's by the grace of God. We would love to sit here and act like, oh my God, we've done everything so perfect, but we haven't, right? We've made some missteps, but infidelity is not the thing that we've struggled with. We got other things going on over here. So let's talk about this other one, sexual differences. Here we go. I said I didn't want to talk about a lot of sex, and I'm not going to stay on this long because, I try to keep this a clean little show. But sexual differences, I mean, let's be real. Sex happens, so it ain't like it doesn't happen, and we're married. So one of the things about sexual differences, and that's what's on this list, is I know for us in the beginning, it was, and I don't want to be all dramatic about it, like, oh my God, we were so different. But for us, I think the struggle was we were newly married. I was trying to get used to you. And we had a kid. It was just so much going on, right?
Okay.
That I just felt like I don't have the energy. Like, I'm tired. This baby is waking me up in the middle of the night. I don't want you touching me. Like, it got to a point where I sometimes didn't even really want you to touch me. And I think I did a good job of hiding it because I don't know that you knew that, but I wasn't feeling it for years. I was not feeling. I was just exhausted, and I just was like, I'm not feeling it. But I thank you that you held on because it did turn around where we got back to. I think we closed the gap on the difference. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah. We got to a point where we were on a good playing field, right?
Yeah.
No, what I was saying, just for you. Like, how in that period, in the beginning of marriage, what was it like for you? Like, did you notice that it was different?
Yes, I knew it was different.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it makes me think of some things that men have to do, or a man has to make a decision
Mm-hmm.
about what he wants to do at that point in his life. Or
Right.
versus whether it was a woman or man or woman,
Right.
I guess.
A person
But
has
a
to
person
decide
has to decide.
how they want to maneuver through that.
Yes.
Like, do you want to be patient and wait to see if it's going to come around?
Right.
Or do you want to go out and find something else? Or do you want to
handle it yourself?
Oh my God, I can't believe you said handle it yourself. Oh my God. Yeah, but that is an option though. That's a good option. It stops you from that infidelity option. But yeah, I get it. And I wish I could say that at that time I felt bad because I didn't. What I did was I looked out for myself, right? Mm-hmm. What I did was my mindset at that time was I need to take care of these children. I need to take care of myself. So if I'm too tired to stay up late and play sheep pool with you, just made up a new term. Play sheep pool, play under the sheets. I chose me and the kids because if I can't be there for them and myself, I couldn't be there for you. So that was the thing. And I thank you for being patient with me through that time. Because I know sometimes it was frustrating, right? Sometimes I know a lot of times it was frustrating. But you never got like mad about it. You just, I think the way you would voice your frustration is every once in a while you would mention something about it or you would have a little snide remark. And fun fact, Neal is the only person on this planet that can say something about me that will crush my whole being. So you would say little things and I would be like, oh, that's important to him. So then I knew since stuff was important to you, if you would say little comments or whatever, then I would make a conscious effort to do what I needed to do what I needed to do.
Okay.
So that's how that happened. You got any more on that or are you good?
I'm good.
You good? Because you kind of mentioned it a little bit that you said one of the ways you handled it, I kind of wanted to go back to that. One of the ways you handled it was you got second jobs. Yeah. And then that kind of took it down a little bit because by the time you finished with the second job, you were
tired, wore out, and didn't want to.
Right. So that was good. So guys, if you're having sexual differences, go get another job.
Or a hobby that burns your energy.
Right. Okay. So what else are we going to do? A lot of you know what one I want to pull out? You are not impacted by this one, but this one is me. Jealousy.
I would agree.
Like, I'm lucky in that. Like, Neal is so funny. Like, I'm not going to speak for you. Do you get jealous?
No.
Yeah.
I believe if you ask a question and you get the answer, you might not like the answer. So therefore,
so you don't ask.
I don't ask. Yeah.
But do you ever wonder about me?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's fair because I don't feel like you wonder.
To me, I don't have reason to.
Yeah.
Ask.
I don't give you signs. Yeah.
I don't look for the signs.
Yeah. And I'm like, I become Inspector Gadget.
But if there's been a time it's been 5 seconds and it's out of my life because I can't live my life that way.
Right.
Wondering, you know.
But you never ask me. You just, it goes to your brain and then you put it out and you're, you need to teach me that. Well, to be honest and to be fair, I think the reason that I have a heightened sense of jealousy, and this is my thing, it has nothing to do with you except for the fact that because I ran around after you so much in our dating life, that is still in my brain, you know, because I know how you can make a move.
Okay.
You pleading the fifth?
Well, I know how I made moves.
Right.
I remember the moves I made.
Exactly. So that's why it gets in your brain a little bit where it's trust / jealousy, right? So although I trust you to a point because you kind of fractured the trust when you did all that stuff when we were dating. So now if I see you having mannerisms like when you were having those mannerisms that you had when we were dating, it heightens my senses to you.
Okay.
And so that's where the jealousy comes in. I mean, seriously, I do. I haven't had an episode lately because you're working from home and you don't really be going nowhere.
Correct.
But or have I?
Well, I'll say I listen to you.
Oh, okay. What does that mean?
Today I listen. When I say today, I mean today is
in these days.
In these days, I listen to you.
In the current
So
days.
if a question comes up and I don't like a question, I turn so that I don't get
if I
that
say
question
so like
anymore.
If I say, Neal, why are you on your phone like so much? Then you'll turn it and you won't be on your phone so much?
Correct.
Oh, you're giving me secrets now.
Yes.
You're divulging secrets. But that's good though, because the turn lets me know that it's not what I think, right? That's what I think. Because if it was what I thought it was, you wouldn't be able to turn it because the person would be coming for you, right? So in my example, the phone, if you're on your phone, so say if you're on your phone more than you normally are on your phone, and I say, Neal, why are you on your phone so much? And then you say, I'm not on my phone that much, and you turn it like you just said. If you were really talking to another female, you wouldn't be able to just turn it like that because you would have this other person involved, right?
Yeah.
Unless you go buy yourself a burner or something. Right. I got all the answers done. You would think I was a cheater.
Right.
Buy yourself a burner and put it in between the mattresses. Let me tell y'all, this brain of mine, it thinks a lot. So I got stuff. I just don't act upon it because that's what I would do.
Yeah.
If I was infidelity I would go buy a burner and just put it in my I would just go put it between the mattress. Stop it. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let that go. So jealousy, that's a good one. They had some other ones on here that it hasn't been a thing for us. Anger. Another one of mine. Right?
Yes, it is. One of yours.
Dang, you're so stern about it. Why are you looking at me like that? Don't be so stern. Give me some grace.
You do jump off the cliff.
I do. I am a world-class, what does Ariel call me? World-class. I have a gold medal in jumping to conclusions because I do. And then I get all crazy. But you don't think I'm getting better? I think I'm getting better.
Yes. Okay. You're getting better.
Oh, because when we was first married, I was a wild barracuda, wasn't I? Oh, I used to spin like Tasmania. I used to spin out. You know I did.
Well, I don't remember it being that bad in the beginning.
Really? Well, when did it get bad? When do you think it was the worst? Or when do you think it was really something?
Well, I don't know about bad or good. It's just that it was building up.
But when do you think it showed itself strong?
It was always strong because you don't have a middle. So
that's what everybody in this house says about me, that I don't have a middle. What do I have?
To where I said, okay, this got to change. I don't want this anymore. So,
because what did I used to go off on? Like I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing that I remember, because this is gonna help somebody. I don't mind sharing this. Mm-hmm. I remember the biggest thing and I'm going to say it's been throughout our marriage. The biggest thing for me was always chores.
Mm-hmm.
That one used to spin me out. Like in the beginning, in the middle. I don't think it's so much now because we've solved it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the beginning and in the middle, I remember that we didn't used to argue about much, but when it came to that house and cleanliness, because we just on different pages when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the kind of person that if I clean up and I have it looking like a model home, I don't want you coming plopping down and moving the cushions. And they so disrespectful in this house that they will
step over it for a few days.
Yeah, like you'll straighten everything up, have the pillows all perfect with the little dent in it. They'll come take the pillows, put them on the floor, and then won't even put them back. And that spins me. That triggers me because it's like, that's disrespect. A lot of times for me, my anger, I'm going to tell you where it comes from. A lot of times, because somebody might relate to this, a lot of times my anger comes from feeling disrespected. I feel like I'm doing all these things and I can't even get respect of y'all keeping it up. Like if I'm cleaning it, why can't y'all just keep it together? And I'm going to tell you even deeper where that comes from, which you probably have never heard me tell you this before. For most people don't know this, but most people don't know me this deep, but I did not grow up with my father, right? I just didn't. And so you could say I have daddy issues. I do. And that's why I picked you as the daddy of my children, because there were things that we used to talk about and you used to say when we were dating that let me know that you were going to be an excellent father. And I wanted that more than I wanted anything because I didn't have that. So I wanted you or whoever I was with and made children with to be that, right? Okay. And so a lot of the times, and like I said, you probably don't know this, a lot of times my dad used to promise me things that he didn't deliver, okay? So if you ever really pay attention to me, when people are not about their word, it spins me out because it takes me back, right? That's a trauma, and I have to deal with that. It's not your fault, but I'm just telling you what it is. So he would say he was coming to pick me up, and he wouldn't. And I would be packed. You know what I'm saying? So it does something to me. I don't do rejection well. So when you reject me, or if I say, if you tell me we going somewhere and then we don't go,
yeah,
that spins me out because that takes me back to that. If you're not about your word, if you change your word, especially as a male, a female can do it and I don't really care. But a man, because of that daddy thing, that spins me out. So you have to, like I said, and it's not your fault. I never told you, but that's where some of the anger is coming from, is that you taking me back there. And it's not your fault. Again, it's something that I need to deal with. And I've been trying to deal with it better because it has nothing to do with you. But I need you to know that so that you can be about your word. And you don't break your word a lot. Some things just came up, and I think you just nailed it. You said there's no middle to me. It's either what? What is it, left or right? It's black
or white.
Black or white. It's no gray for me. They say this about me in the house all the time. So yeah. So those are things that I think we off of this list, and we'll go over in the next episode. We will go over a little bit more of, we'll break the list down a little bit more and see if we can find some other ones that we can speak to that we can relate to. But those are some ones that I can pull out today that I know. So are you happy with me?
Yes, I am happy with you.
That's the right answer. You're saying all the right answers. Am I happy with you? Of course, because I wouldn't be with nobody that I'm not happy with. I tell people this all the time. I don't have to be with anybody. You don't have to be with anybody. These days, in these 2022s, Listen, when I'm making my own money, you making your own money, don't nobody got to be with nobody, for real. So know that the fact that I wake up and choose to be here every day, it's because I want to be. You know what I'm saying? There's no other thing holding me here, you know?
Okay.
You said okay. But no, do you know what I'm saying though? What I'm saying to you is this is not a relationship of any conveniences. This is a relationship of love. I'm here because I love you. I'm not here because you do this and you do that. Because anything that you're doing, I could do too.
I get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not even trying to be, disrespectful or mean about it. I'm just saying, I'm hoping that is a good thing that I wake up and choose you because I love you every day.
Yes.
Look at how he is giving me. Neal can't wink, y'all. So he's trying to, when he winks, he winks both eyes. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to his wink training, but he didn't get that. So, yeah. So Neal, you did so good. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for participating in this series because I believe stretching your comfort zone. I thank you for doing that because I believe that this series is going to help people. It's going to help people to understand they don't have to get it all right in the beginning. They don't even have to get it all right in the middle. Every day is going to be work, right? Every day is work.
Okay.
No?
Yes. Okay. I mean,
well, when you say
you have
okay,
your easy and your hard days, but yes. Every day it takes work.
Yeah, every day you got to do some kind of work. It's compromise. It's discussions. It's, we didn't even talk about, and we'll talk about this next episode, the kids, like raising kids. Like I know some couples that have an issue about, you might feel one way about how we discipline. I might feel one way, and that might, separate us, right? On how I know so many people that go through that. But, I just thank you for stretching your comfort zone because I want this. I'm so adamant about getting this series out to the people because I want people to hear of this a Black marriage, right? We Black.
Yes.
And we've been married 28 years. We've been together. Well, you say we've been knowing each other since a long time ago. But, we've been together like 16 years old. So I want people to see that that's possible. And it doesn't have to be messy. It doesn't have to be infidelity. It doesn't have to be not loving, right? I think our biggest testament is our children. Like the people who are listening to the podcast and hear the girls, because you are known by your fruit, right?
Yeah.
And that's our fruit. And so most people who listen to the girls always say, wow, I love the dynamic that you and your girls have. And that's a testament, I think, and something that we should be patting ourselves on the back because through all of whatever we've gone through, good, bad, or indifferent, we've managed to raise these two girls that are out here representing and doing their thing, right?
Yes.
Handling their business. Now, they still live at home with us.
Which is good, kind of.
You like it? I know, yeah. We do like it. We do like it. We love that the girls live with us. We are not those parents that are like, oh, you're 18, you got to go. We are not. We love that they're still here. But we're also going to love when they move.
Yes.
We tell them all the time, you can stay here as long as you need to, but you got to go, right?
Yes.
Especially lately. Lately, we've been really in the, you got to go. Like, let me tell y'all something. Neal is such a girl dad. But recently, he came to me and he said, you know what? They need to go. And I said, ooh. I said, now when Neal's saying they need to go, that means they really need to go. And it's not because we don't love them. It's not because they're doing something so odd or off. It's just, it's time. It's time for them to have their grown life. And it's time for us to have our grown life without them, right?
Yes, I would say that.
Yeah, it's just time. But if they stay another 2 years, we're okay with that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we here to support them, whatever that means.
Yeah, my reason for having them out is selfish of me, but
tell me what. Y'all know what it is. He ain't got to say it. What is it? Because you want to walk around like you in a nudist camp?
Yes.
Damn. Yeah. This is where Chelsi gets her body courage and her great body self-esteem, because Neal is a big dude and he has great body esteem. He has great body esteem. Like, he is, listen, I ain't gonna tell your business to the people, but company, when I tell you that Neal don't be afraid of nothing, he probably would go to a nudist beach. He probably would. I would not be with him, but he would go. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up this show. We are going to say to you, we thank you for joining us. Please drop us a line. Listen, we're going to be doing a couple of episodes. We're going to, I don't know. I'm going to let it go where it's going. But if you guys have any questions or any topics regarding marriage that you want us to address, feel free to write into us on our Instagram, DM us. Or you could just put it as a message, however you want to do it, because we would love to answer. Wouldn't that be cool to answer questions on air during the podcast? I would love to do that.
I would do it. Yes.
Okay. Look, y'all heard him. He said he would do it. So yeah, let's do that. Write us, let us know. Keep them coming in. We're going to screen them, but we'll pick some out and we'll answer them, and make sure you put your name, tell us who you are, so that we can shout you out. We're all about the recognition here at Turra and Company. So we thank you for listening. We appreciate you. We launched our YouTube channel recently. Go subscribe, Turra and Company. We want you to see all the clips and all that good stuff. So do that. And we will see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We look forward to you joining us on the next episode. Until then, be inspired and enlightened.